Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Futon Talks. I'm Joshua Castro, and I am joined, as always, by my best friend, my co-host, the owner of a Shure microphone, the scut-licking flatnard himself, Christopher Midling.
That's me.
That's you, buddy.
Hello, everybody.
I'm so glad you're here.
Hello, Peanut Gallery.
Yes, hello, Peanut Gallery. You are amazing. We love your comments. And Craig.
Greg or Craig?
Or Greg. Both of you. Just you. We'll never know. You're an enigma. We also thank our amazing patrons. We got Emmett. We got Cody. We got John. We got, I don't know, Michelle Obama. We got you. It's the best. We're just so grateful to you guys. And we're bringing you another great episode. This one on a new release.
Hello.
A little ditty called Guardians of the Galaxy. Excuse me, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Wouldn't want you getting confused. But I'm excited to talk about it, Chris.
Me too. I'm very excited.
This is a game that both of us, I think, kinda... Not both of us. Everyone ever was kind of looking down on. We weren't sure if it was going to be good, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'd like to say it's a surprising game. But tell me, Chris, do you have anything you want to say before we get into the discussion, or do you want to just hop into our 3 words?
Let's just hop into the 3 words.
Tell me. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Give me ideas. I didn't think about this before.
I have satisfying.
Oh!
I have undercooked.
You know, the cooperative multiplayer game that causes divorce.
And I kind of have 2 more.
You're a cheater.
I have Dungeons and Dragons.
Interesting.
And then this was the 4th one that really doesn't count, but it kind of does. Unremarkable.
Interesting.
But I don't know. That's kind of like an iffy one. But definitely satisfying, undercooked, and D&D.
And D&D. A 3-word thing. Let me think here.
A 3-word, 4-word conundrum.
A conundrum. I think fun has got to be one of my words. I think I don't want to say like by the numbers.
You would say unremarkable.
I wouldn't though. That's the thing. Is because I would say remarkable as one of my words. So remarkable, whatever the first word I said was. And fun. It was fun, remarkable, and fresh.
Fresh.
Fresh. Like a breath of fresh air.
Ooh. Interesting.
But yeah, I mean...
Do you want to give a little quick synopsis and then we'll jump into...
I'll give a little quick synopsis.
What we like, what we don't like?
I'll try to do something that's more of a... Before we... something we do before we get into spoilers, because this will have spoilers.
Yes.
We're going to spoil the whole game. So, and I would personally recommend... Go ahead and play it. This is definitely a game that I think, especially in this day and age, with all the games that came out this year, I would say it's a solid recommend from me.
It's hard to go wrong with it, for sure.
It's a fun game. It's a great game. So, if you haven't played it, go play it. We'll give a quick little synopsis without getting into spoilers.
Yeah.
That's a lie. We're just going to spoil it now.
Yeah.
But just say, it's good. If you haven't played it and you're thinking about play it, go ahead and play it. So... Because a lot of this is a story game. So if you kind of spoil the story, it kind of might mess up the experience for you.
And you all know what Guardians of the Galaxy is at this point. Just through the movies, even if you don't read the comics, you know what they are. Chris Pratt's not in it, but pretty much everyone else is because they're animations.
This is definitely the Guardians from the movies in a game form, essentially. All the personalities and the way they talk, it's all pretty much... transferred over. They just all yell now. Constantly. But a synopsis. I would say that it starts out with the good old Star-Lord. He's thinking about his mama. And it just kind of... The story follows the Guardians when they're in a state where they're like all new to each other. They're not super tight yet. They're not a family, so to speak. And the game itself is less of an origin story and more about just the circumstances that lead to them becoming a well-knit family.
A unit.
A unit, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big focus on that as Star-Lord, how he's a leader and how his leadership is his power. He's not like a superhero. He's just a good leader and good at like helping his friends come together, you know?
Yeah.
And they go on this big journey where they lit this horrible monster out of a soul stone, just one of the infinity stones or whatever. And pretty much it's their journey as they try to come to terms with their past and try to stop the apocalypse, which they inadvertently caused by letting this monster out of the soul stone.
Mm-hmm.
Just a really quick synopsis, because there's so much story here that I think it's hard to really get into the specifics.
Yeah, for sure.
But the big thing is that there's this little girl named Nikki,
mm-hmm.
who you think throughout the story may or may not be Peter's or Star-Lord's daughter. And it's pretty much, she's the center of it because she's possessed by this monster. And starts a cult. It's like actually kind of hard to explain. But this monster that grows within her convinces her that even though her mom is dead, spoiler alert, she can bring her back. And then the monster speaks through her to the whole galaxy, telling the whole galaxy that if they've lost something or someone, or if they want some reality that they don't have, they can find it through worshiping the monster that's within her. And pretty much the Guardians go about trying to destroy the monster and help people come to terms with the lives they have. That's essentially the story. And eventually they do that through being a family and through talking her down, which is appropriate.
Yeah.
That's basically it. And then Nikki is not your daughter, but she's your pseudo-daughter. And she gets to stay with you on your ship. And you're all Guardians together.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. And then you float into the black nothingness without power forever because you didn't pay your Nova Corps fine, which is hilarious. As It Plays, Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley, which is pretty hilarious. Did you pay your fine?
Of course.
I did not. I tried like 3 times and they didn't let me. No, I'm not going to do it now.
Did you spend a lot of money?
No. I was very responsible.
It didn't let you? You must have not had enough credits.
No, when I say that, I you go to the Rock to pay. You tell Cosmo to get him to talk to the World Mind to forgive you. And then at that point, the World Mind's being a jerk and I'm like, I'm not going to pay my fine. I'm out of here.
Huh.
That's how I felt.
Huh.
Because you have the chance to pay your fine when you get to the World Mind. Because then the Nova Corps leaves the galaxy. They come back later, but...
Yeah.
Well, if you do the right things.
Yes.
But I was out of spite. I did not pay my Nova Corps fine. And then your ship deactivates at the end of the game.
Mine did not.
It was pretty funny. And then you just float away as everyone yells at you for not paying your fine.
I feel like a different song played, but I could just be totally wrong.
I'm sure it wasn't Never Gonna Give You Up.
Maybe. So I have one thing I gotta say. It falls under the undercooked part.
Oh.
I had many glitches in this game.
Really?
Many glitches. Many audio glitches.
Huh?
The last 2 chapters, I had no dialogue audio.
What?
Except for whatever echoed throughout the world. And music wasn't a thing.
What?
So I gotta tell you right now, the most awkward thing I've ever seen in a video game is the Guardians cheering and celebrating, walking towards the screen with no audio. It made the scene really dumb.
That's horrifying.
It was the worst. It was awful.
Even if you restarted?
I got sound effects. Yeah, I restarted. I reinstalled the game. I did everything you could possibly do without starting completely fresh.
That's so sad.
It was. Because there wasn't even subtitles during some of the cutscenes, so I just had to watch YouTube cutscenes.
Oh my gosh.
To see the post-credit scenes and stuff, and actually hear what they're saying, because they're talking while the credits are rolling from some of it. And yeah, it was kind of sad. It was really bummed me out. There was a few other glitches where one specifically for one of the collectibles is you have to go on one of those ledges and shimmy across.
Oh my gosh, that one was so annoying.
And
was it a costume?
Where you had it was a loop where you couldn't get past it.
You had to jump over.
Yeah, I had to do that. So that was annoying. I fell through the map a couple times. But yeah, it was kind of a bummer. The game just could have used like maybe an extra month.
You got a bad copy of this game.
It was digital.
That's so interesting because like I didn't have any problems. I had a couple glitches at the very beginning with just like maybe cinematics not triggering correctly. So like I jump onto something, but it didn't think I would do that. And so the game would freak out because it wanted me to do it wanted me to get in position to do a QTE, but I just jumped on my own. And so then the game like wouldn't move forward. But I just restarted and did it the way I wanted and it worked fine. I almost had no glitches besides that.
But that didn't really take away from like the game's overall message or the overall enjoyment of it. It just really was kind of a bummer during that last 2 chapters, like the 2 most vital chapters in the game.
The 2 most climactic moments.
Yeah, like I got sound effects, but like during the part where your music is playing in space, nothing. Except for I heard the sound that was coming out of the little window. So it was like really faint. Which there was other funny things like because I was obviously not getting a certain layer of audio, but there were some sub layers of sound effects, but also like dialogue and voices where like I would hear the lower register of Fing Fang Foom. The dragon's actual voice was gone. Yeah. But I heard the stuff like that. That's really so weird. And the same would go for Lady Hellbender. Just in the last cutscene, I heard a lower register hum when she was speaking. Because she was like shouting in space. So I got this lower register.
That is so lame.
It was really interesting, like, how they do the audio stuff, but yeah it really sucked.
That sucks, man. Like, what about the cutscene with, not cutscene, but like the part where you're talking to Nikki and her promise?
Nothing.
Oh,
I heard the slight whispers of space echoing. I heard the reverb.
That's awful. That's like the best part of the game, is that cutscene. The voice acting is awesome.
Yeah, I wish I wish I knew.
That is so sad, man. You should have gotten a physical copy.
I mean, even if it happened on a physical copy, I couldn't do anything besides start fresh.
Yeah.
So,
man, that is wild. Because I haven't heard anything about it being bad. But I guess buy at your own freaking risk. Holy crap!
I've seen stuff on Twitter of people getting certain glitches where they like hit an enemy and then they just get shot up into the air. But that's more of a fun glitch.
Yeah.
It wasn't really... I mean, this isn't game breaking. It's just really dissatisfying.
That's a really bad glitch.
Yeah. But I still had fun.
Wow. I guess that is saying something. So
yeah, just maybe wait a bit.
Wait for some patches.
You know.
That's crazy.
But, I mean, it's not stopping people from playing it or getting the platinum because it's a brand new game. I'm sure lots of people are buying it because it's Marvel and it's Guardians. Mm-hmm. And I think it's up to 3% of people got the platinum.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That's like, especially for a third-party game. Usually you see like higher numbers with fan favorites like Souls games or with first-party titles like Uncharted.
Yeah.
It's like 10% of people, 20% of people like have the platinum for Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's also an easy one.
Yeah. This one, not so much. If you just screw up a little bit.
Yeah, you're done. If you don't do everything exactly right, you're freaking done.
Because you didn't get the platinum.
And I'm mad because I wanted the platinum for this game. I finished it and I was like, it's probably one of my favorite games I've played this year. Mm-hmm. I really, really enjoyed this game. And so I wanted the platinum. But then pretty much all of them either require a very specific combat thing to happen, which you can't really control. You might get lucky and it just happens for you. Uh-huh. Or it requires collectibles, but you can't just use chapter select to get the collectibles. You have to play them all in one. You have to get them all in one playthrough, or stack them through New Game Plus. But you have to play the game, each chapter subsequently, for it to count them.
Yes, which is like, excuse me, probably the biggest, I don't know, video game sin that this game does.
It's bad.
Is like, what are we playing? Like the NES, where you can't save games, nothing crosses over. You have to start fresh every time you turn it on. It's crazy. It's like, how many games has Eidos Montreal made where you can get the collectibles no matter what through chapter select or anything? Because let's not forget, lest we forget, they made Shadow of the Tomb Raider. They made Deus Ex Human Revolution and Mankind Divided.
Games you loved.
And they made that horrible Thief 4.
Just Thief.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's they had a lot of practice making games. Games with lots of collectibles. Games with terrible ways of getting collectibles. But this is awful.
It broke my heart. I'm not.
It's like, it just doesn't make sense. Hopefully, this has to be something that they can patch.
Right.
Because you can go to chapter select and do all the combat stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the combat trophies work that way.
You can. Oh, that's the thing that boggled my mind. The costumes carried over through chapter select, but not the collectibles.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, it
seems so.
It's so bizarre.
Absurd.
Like, why do this to me? I just want to platinum your game, but I don't want to spend another 20 hours doing it. Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Because this game it's a good chunk of time. It's like a 16 to 20 hour game. It's not the kind of thing that you replay to get a couple collectibles, you know? I was sad. You know, I would definitely get the platinum, but I'm not going to play the whole thing again.
The game, I guess I'll save it for later, but I'm going to say the game doesn't have a great trophy list.
No.
I don't think it even has a good trophy list.
It's good for me in that it would be easy if chapter select worked.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of like fun trophies.
It would be a very casual platinum if they didn't have this horrible thing.
Yeah, this seems almost like a mistake. Like, why even add chapter select?
Yeah.
If not for this. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe...
Do people just want to play through one portion of the story?
Maybe you're like me and you lost audio, so you want to go listen to the cutscene.
That is so sad. Wow.
But let's talk about the Guardians themselves.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about the opening of the game. With Peter Quill and his mother.
His mama.
What's her name?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
Sharon?
Karen. I don't even know. He just calls her mom.
Is it Martha?
Martha. Yeah, Superman's mom.
Why'd you say her name?
I loved it.
Yeah, it's a great opening.
I mean, I think that the first chapter of the game, besides the prologue, is kind of weak. I think it's probably my least favorite part of the game when you're in the quarantine zone. Rocket's being himself. Mm-hmm. But I really like Star-Lord. He really grew on me throughout the story.
Yeah.
I really thought I was just not going to like him. But he has a lot of dimension. And he's very tender in a very sweet way. I was very impressed with the characterization of Peter Quill. And I didn't expect to be. I thought I would just want Chris Pratt. I thought I would want Mario. And
you mean Garfield?
Garfield, excuse me. And Sonic. No, it didn't happen. I did not miss him. I was surprised by how good this version of Star-Lord turned out to be. And as a kid, he's great too. And his mom's cool. I like his mom. They have good interactions.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, it might be a character thing, but like, obviously he was captured from the aliens. Or by the aliens when he was like 13.
Yeah.
So does he keep that 13 like tenderness and being very naive, maybe very curious? Does he keep that through his adult years? Who parents him?
No one.
Or is it Yondu or whatever?
I think that's part of the reason he is the way he is. You know? Because he's raised by the prison system.
There's very annoying things about Peter Quill.
That's true.
Like how he's like, good job, guys. We gotta be a family, stick together.
I like that.
I hate that.
I like it.
I hate how positive.
I love how positive he is.
He's overly positive, overly using words of like affirmation.
I like that.
He's always very surprised about little things, which could just be him being a 13-year-old in a man's body. He's big.
Is this Tom Hanks? I just like him. But I understand. I think he's just trying really hard to be a good leader, and I think he does a good job. But I understand what you mean. I would say that there are definitely moments in this game where the characters are just a bit too much. You know? All of them.
There's too much talking.
I love it. It's like if Uncharted was not bad. I'm just kidding. I like the way they talk to each other.
No, it's like if Uncharted was 12 Drakes.
I could see
all
that.
bickering to each other.
But yeah, I don't know. I think we just probably disagree on. I just really liked, and he is a little annoying sometimes. I think Rocket's the most annoying, obviously.
How do I put this? The thing with the talking, because there is constant going back and forth and bickering, which is not new. It's a thing. But it's not polished. There are certain games like God of War where you're in the boat with Mimir and he's giving you a story. You guys are all talking. And then when you exit that boat, he's like, I'll finish this later. And then he brings it back up again. But with Guardians, there'll be a full-on conversation and I'll get to a certain point where it cuts off. Like certain characters will
start to go through something.
Yeah, the characters will even cut themselves off to appease like the story or what's happening. It's not very fluid or organic. That's something I wish could have been polished out. Because like it would have been really cool if the Guardians, instead of bickering all the time, or maybe they can bicker, but maybe bicker about things they've done in the past. Bicker about how they met. And then let it fluidly go out of conversation into a cutscene and then back into the conversation out of the cutscene. Yeah. That might be too much work. I understand.
I know.
2020 hindsight.
Yeah.
I don't make games, so
I don't know how this happens.
I don't know how it works, but that would be like something that bothered me. Because I would be listening to the conversation and be like, okay, I like this bickering. I like this back and forth. And then it cuts itself off to a pointless story. Because personally, for me, I don't think the game comes into its own until chapter 8.
I think you're right. I think it gets a lot better after they figure out what's going on with the promise.
Yeah, once they get captured.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, whoa, this is really cool. The characters have great back and forth. It could be because they start liking each other.
Yeah, I think that it's hard to listen to them just be super annoying and mean to each other.
Especially Rocket.
I would say Drax is fine, though. Drax does a pretty good job, I think, of not being annoying.
I love Drax.
Drax is freaking hilarious.
Drax is the best.
He's easily the funniest character. And he does a good job of being antagonistic to the others without just coming off as super annoying.
Yeah.
He has all this stuff he says about Gamora. He doesn't like the rodent,
Because he's very matter of fact. He's very blunt.
Yeah. He's just actually funny.
It's very dry and it's fun.
It's not abrasive. Rocket is just... He grows on me. And he kind of has to be hateable at first for his transition later to mean something.
Yeah.
You kind of have to not like him. But they could have made him a little bit more likable. Because he's mostly just a huge douche for the first half of the game.
Yeah. And I don't think his character, his friendship with Groot doesn't come into play till later on either, even though they've been friends longer than the rest of the Guardians. You feel like they would immediately have a really good connection in the beginning of the game. So there's some sort of tenderness with Rocket. He just doesn't have it with everyone else.
Yeah.
But he has it with Groot. So it kind of, humanizes him in a way.
A rodent.
But
I do see what you're saying, though. Because I did notice that where conversations would cut off. And I'm like, no, I wanted to keep hearing that. There are some things that are really immersive and good, though. Like, I love when you go off the correct path, and they're like, where the frick are you going? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's exploring, and like, those are funny lines, and they do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely wish they would bring conversations back up that they were having, because there are a bunch of conversations that just never finished because you started to like sidle through 2 pieces of metal.
Because you were going through the game at a reasonable pace.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is so much worse about this. But yeah, I agree
But
with
even
you.
like, because I got all the collectibles, I had plenty of downtime to just listen. They never finished.
Yeah, they often don't finish conversations. But I would say for the most part, I was really impressed. And I found myself many times just wishing all the combat would stop so I could hear them talk more.
Yeah.
Like, there were times it's a little annoying. Some of the jokes don't land. But I'd say 9 times out of 10, I was really happy to hear everyone talk and just talk to them and have conversations. Like, to me, that was the highlight of the game.
I really like being in the spaceship.
I love it.
It's great.
And Cammy the llama, I think it actually worked. It was pretty funny sometimes.
I thought it was going to be pretty cringe, but it worked.
It was not, like, how did they pull off a llama?
Yeah.
A colorful llama, they pulled that off and it wasn't
a llama
cringy.
from Fortnite, pretty much.
That's insane. Like, I feel like that alone, like, that takes a lot of talent to make a space llama not cringy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I liked Cammy by the end.
Yeah.
It was kind of actually some really funny moments
Even
with the
halfway
llama.
through, like when she eats a hole through the wall
Yeah.
in like Peter's room that leads to like the basement or whatever of the ship.
Where you hit her. Oh, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I like the llama. And then Mantis and the llama are funny. And
gotta
how
say,
she always tries to get back into the room where she ate the wires and you have to like turn her away. It's pretty funny.
You always have to close the fridge.
And you always close the fridge.
You
try to get Rocket to engineer the fridge to stop closing.
It has some really good moments. I think it just needs a little bit more polish.
I feel you. And that's true.
And I think that's throughout the game too. Because I found this game to be very easy. Because I knew with every encounter I could just spam everyone's super.
Yes.
In like 2 seconds. Sorry. And everyone would be dead.
Let's talk about the combat a bit.
Yeah, let's do it.
I will say immediately that I saw reviews for this game before I played it, and everyone said that Star-Lord didn't do any damage, and it was like really unsatisfying.
That's weird.
Which is true, in my opinion.
I mean, I felt like I was like later on. Yeah, he's not like doing much damage unless you're doing
your supers.
Your supers. I could see that, but like if you pair the elementals
correctly
with the right enemies, you do buku damage.
Yeah, like there's some ice enemies that you can freeze them and then punch them and they immediately die.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a good thing. It's just...
I will say, like, doing melee was much faster than shooting.
Yeah. It's like his guns don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And there's certain enemies that just don't feel correctly balanced. Like, I would say almost every enemy in the game is fine, except for the Nova Corps guys with the square shields. Why did they take, like, an hour to kill? They use everyone's super.
Yeah.
And they're still, like, half health. You're like, just die.
It is funny. Well, because you have to, like, use your ice shots, I think, to break the shields. And... yeah.
You have to cycle through everything multiple times. I freeze their shields 3 times before one of them dies. Freeze the shield. Stagger them. Gamora. Rocket. Groot. Drax. Freeze the shield. Do all of it. It's like ridiculous how long it takes.
Yeah. But using your character's abilities was super overpowered, especially once you get their 4th ability. Because their 4th ability doesn't count as you using them. So
doesn't it?
No. So you could use the ultimate and then immediately go into a rocket bomb. Or Gamora doing her, like, assassin attack.
Yeah.
Or
which
Drax's
is the same
charge.
as her first ability.
All of her abilities are the same.
Yeah. It's like this.
And then Groot was like, useless.
Groot was super useful, I thought.
Until the end, maybe.
I think his first ability is the best ability he has.
Oh, just the one where he grabs people?
Yeah. Well, it does a lot of stagger.
I don't like his attack unless you are using it as an environmental thing. Like where it says use triangle to use Groot. Then it does a ton of damage. But I feel like using it by itself, going through the wheel, isn't as effective for some reason.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like I feel like everyone's abilities pair well. I do like them all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that Groot's good at, like, grouping enemies together and keeping them in one place so other enemies can get them. Or not enemies, but your other teammates can attack them. I think it's mostly quite good, well balanced. I just think there's something missing with the combat that makes it not satisfying. Like, it's like Final Fantasy VII's combat, but there's just something missing.
I think maybe the guns ruin it.
But he needs the guns because he's Peter Quill.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know what they could have done. I mean, this is the thing. In Final Fantasy VII, you can play as the other characters. You know, you can play as Barret, you can play as Aerith, you can play as Tifa. But I don't think that's what's missing. People keep saying, I wish I could play as Drax.
I
wish I
wouldn't
could
want to play as Drax.
I want to play as Star-Lord. I like Star-Lord. And I like that I can commit. Like, I like the idea that you're a leader and that's your ability, right? That you can command them what to do. I think that's good. So I don't think the true thing to fix it is to let you control the others, because that's not what's good about Final Fantasy VII. I maybe used Aerith a little bit, but that's because I like Aerith, not because it's more fun than playing Cloud. Cloud is easily the most fun to play. But I think that's the difference, is that Cloud is fun to use and he's stronger than everyone else pretty much. Like, the others are strong for their own, like, specific circumstances, but in general, Cloud is your best option because he does the most DPS.
Yeah.
I think the guy you play as should be fun to play on his own, and everything else should be accoutrements.
Is support, yeah.
Yeah, right? So it just feels weird to shoot a guy for like 17 clips and have nothing happen to him, right? And then Gamora can just waltz in and boom, he's dead.
Yeah.
So it needed a little bit more balancing. I wish there were less enemies.
Yeah, there's a lot of combat in this game.
And just like during the combat sections,
there's tons.
There's like thousands of men. Thousands of people that you have to kill.
Yeah. I wish I used the flying more often than I did. I always forgot about it because I would rather use shield, or I'd rather use the one where you go up in the air and throw ice on the ground.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I think flying should have just been a double jump. Like, more of a double jump than double jumping.
Yeah.
Like, flying around more. And then maybe, what if it was like a Sekiro thing where you shoot people, which is fine, but the best way to do damage is to melee but like use a trigger or something to parry, but with a shot.
That'd be dope.
And that would be like an insta kill. You know, if you got the right parry. I think that would have been kind of cool.
I agree.
Like a gunslinger type of deal. Or what if he had like a Red Dead Redemption thing where he could freeze time a little bit and you can pick your shots and then it does like a cool animation.
I think it did. That's what I think the game needed, was just to be more stylish with its combat.
Yes.
This is the thing. The combat does not need to be very good if it's super stylish and flashy,
if it's fun
and
to
it doesn't
watch.
last a ton of time. Right? Like,
I think what we're wanting is a turn-based Guardians game.
I think I would actually prefer that.
Yeah, me too.
Which sounds weird, but
can you imagine like a cell shaded,
don't do this,
like, you know, thing.
The words cell shaded are cursed now, though.
Like, I don't know,
but I understand what you mean. Although I do like the art style in this game. I think this is one of the prettiest games I've played in like 2 years. Not because its fidelity is out of this world, but the art is incredible. I love the way everything
really
looks.
Style, yeah.
It like looks so cool. Everything looks really cool.
It looks quite well done.
Looks quite well done. Looks like a steak. No, I was very impressed with just the art direction in this game. I thought it was.
It
awesome.
looks like we're actually in a galaxy.
Yeah, it like is realistic but fantastic.
Not like a ice box, like in some places.
I thought it was a very fun depiction of, you know, our universe in a fantasy.
Well, we
kind
were
of
in
way.
Andromeda, but
we're in Andromeda. I don't freaking know.
Well, we're in Andromeda until the end, I think, and then we're in the Milky Way. Who cares?
But yeah,
it's all space.
Who cares? It's all space. We're never going there.
We're not Neil deGrasse Tyson.
We're doomed to die on this rock. The sun's going to expand within the next 500 million years and consume our oceans.
Yes.
They'll all evaporate, leaving us with nothing.
It was Peter Care. His mom was going to die anyways.
That's right. She dead. Spoiler alert.
So, that is what the game is all about, is that everyone dies.
That's right.
It's accepting the fact that everyone dies and to move on.
Yeah, accepting that, the past is
You
the
lose
past,
people.
but you can make something of the now.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, the combat's jank, though.
Yeah.
So, there's something wrong with it, and especially the boss fights. There was one boss fight that I thought was serviceable, and that's the tentacle monster you fight when you're in Lady Hellbender's castle.
Yeah, that's the first one.
That one's pretty good. Every other boss sucks.
I can't even remember what the bosses were.
So there's Fing Fing Foom, which I think is overall just kind of lame. It just didn't deliver for me.
It was weird.
It was like mediocre at best. And then the only other one I can think of is like the final boss where you're fighting the Universal Church of Truth guy.
And then the pseudo final boss.
Yeah, the true final boss, I suppose. And neither of them are good.
Why? Yeah, no, they're not. But quick question: why does this game have two, like, fake credit scenes?
Does it have two?
Yeah,
I know it has one. That's funny.
there's one after you, at the very end of the game, with Nikki, because that's when Adam Warlock does his thing. But then there's the one.
I think I know the other one you're talking
Chapter 7, I believe. Where you are being corrupted by the promise.
about. I like that.
Yeah.
You can end your game right there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, dang, this game is short.
Well, it's technically not a fake out. Your game should just end. Like, it just kicks you to the main menu when the credits end.
What?
I've done it, yeah, because I chose that ending. And it just ends, because you accepted the promise.
Shoot your mom?
One time, I did it both ways, because I wanted to see what would happen.
Oh, okay.
So one time, I just accepted the promise, and the game just ended. And it just put me in the main menu.
That's funny, because
Which is, I think that's a really cool little thing.
the credits still show up if you shoot your mom.
Do they really?
Yeah,
I
they
just
show up
don't
for like
remember
half
that
a
for some
second,
reason.
and then it like brings you back to the moment where you're about to shoot your mom, and you shoot her again. I think.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, I tried shooting her so many times.
I think your game is super glitched.
The game like makes you only shoot her 3 times. Sadly.
Really?
Yeah. How many times did you shoot her?
Just shot her.
Once?
I mean, you shoot her a couple times, but it's like the same sequence. Like, it didn't restart me.
Huh.
Your game was busted.
Yeah, maybe.
What happened?
I
don't
paid my
understand.
fine.
That's so bizarre.
I don't care. I got the platinum.
That's true. You're a bigger man than me. I've only gotten like 1 platinum this year.
That's crazy.
Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah, bosses suck.
Yeah.
They're mostly pretty lame. I like that in the end you talk at him. You talk to
Adam
Warlock.
Adam as Magus.
As Magus, who was the big black monster. Yeah, I thought it was a good ending. I enjoyed it.
Final
Little tidbit.
things that I saw. Peter's dog in the beginning of the game. I've never seen a dog look more dead than
Right?
that dog. I thought that dog was dead when I went down the stairs. I was like, oh my gosh.
I know.
It was a dead dog. And then it moved for a little bit. But like, it might as well be a rug. That's how dead it looked.
Like, even if you pet it, it doesn't like get up. It just kind of looks at you
Yeah.
and like goes back to being dead.
I saw that there was an Axis and Allies spoof called
Yeah.
Goodies and Baddies.
That's cute.
I like that. Oh, I guess that might be a fast one. I guess I'll save it for later. You were thinking of the Dweller. It was the tentacle monster.
Yeah, I like that.
That was a good boss.
That's how they all should have been.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Like, why did they do this? It's because they tried to like lean into the combat's
Mm-hmm.
emphasis or whatever, like leaning into its strengths.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have strengths because the combat's just not fantastic. Like it's not bad because it's the same as Final Fantasy VII. I think games can have like the exact same combat system and both be good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at like, all shooters. You can aim down sights, you can crouch, you can jump.
Yeah.
You get both games can be good. Doesn't matter. So I don't think it's bad that it copied Final Fantasy VII or that it has a similar system.
Yeah.
I just think there's something wrong with the way it works. Also, I found combat to be unpleasant because there's only like 5 lines of dialogue for combat.
Oh, yeah.
And they
so you just
scream it at you.
You keep hearing it over and over again.
Why do they yell?
I only noticed that until like near the end with Gamora.
She says the same thing.
Constant sword puns.
They needed about 50 more lines each.
Yeah.
Because they would all just say the same thing, and they just yell. Everyone's yelling constantly.
Luckily for me, I couldn't hear the yelling for the last 2 chapters where most of the combat is in the game.
Oh my gosh. Well, you're lucky then.
I gotta say this game is a little too long. For how much combat there is.
Just get rid of some of the combat. I think it'd be fine.
Yeah, probably. I was getting pretty worn out during, like... How many chapters are there? 16?
Something like that.
Like, I think you could have done without the whole Fin Fang Foom planet.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think that planet was a highlight. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you just get rid of that chapter or 2 and you're good.
Like, I get that you got to get Lady Hellbender's help. I just wish there was a better way to do it.
Lady Helpbender.
Lady Helpbender.
I got... Before we get into, like, fast ones and, like, our clothing stuff, this game, like I said before, is like Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons.
Dragon's Dogma.
Dragons and Dungeons. It's just, to me, it reminds me of a really good D&D campaign.
Yeah. Of,
like, how much stuff is intertwined. Certain, like, old characters reappear as these new characters with new motives. Especially with Nikki.
Oh, Nikki's like, so awesome.
She's just a kid at first that you think you're her dad. And then, like, 2 chapters later, you find out she's the bad guy.
Did you see that coming?
Not at all.
I was blown away.
It's like... Whoa.
Not blown away. Like, I wasn't that surprised, but I was like, oh, dang, that's the matriarch? I had no idea.
I gotta say, the best design is the matriarch.
Her design is so cool.
It is
everything to do with the Universal Church of Truth just looks cool.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Like,
so good.
What were they giving these artists?
I don't know.
What were they eating? Like, my gosh.
Yeah.
Everything looks so cool.
It did look really awesome. And it just felt like you start small, you just build up and up and up, and then it's this big climax thing, and then there's like we got you with another boss, like a secret boss or whatever, and you have to go get the dragon from the lady. It just reminded me of like a really well done D&D campaign,
which I think is a huge compliment. I mean,
yeah, I think so too. I don't get that feeling from games usually.
And speaking of stories and games,
yeah,
I know this has been said by everybody ever who's played this game and reviewed it, but it's a good Mass Effect game.
What?
Everyone said that. Everyone's like, oh, it's the best Mass Effect game to come out in like years. It's a lot like Mass Effect. It gave me the same feeling Mass Effect gave me when I played it 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
In a good way. It was just this really believable world. They put so much work into building the world to be a realistic place. You know? It's just, I was really, really stunned by how good all the aliens were and how realistic they were and how all these cultures have like backgrounds, and like if you read all the collectibles, it's like crazy. It was really, I thought, phenomenal. And there's just this really human story, you know?
Yeah. I would say so, yeah.
I was just really impressed. I mean, like Drax and Star-Lord, the way their friendship grows, and then, Gamora's fine. I like Gamora, but I don't think her story was particularly touching. But I thought Rocket had some really great moments. Drax has some really great moments. And then him and Nikki, especially like the last cutscene that you didn't get to see, I was really very impressed.
Were you moved by it?
I was moved. Just the way he's talking to her and how sad it is. But how hopeful it is.
I didn't really care too much for Star-Lord up until the very end when he's talking to himself. It made me excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to play the sequel. Because I really liked where Peter is now. I didn't like him before, being a kid, but now he's a man.
It's
he's
a journey.
Kind of a father.
The characters really all grow up.
It's really nice. It's really satisfying.
Yeah, they all grow up in a really satisfying way. It's it's just this tender story. It's really beautiful.
It's just half the game is a little undercooked.
Yeah. It's like the combat and a little bit of technical stuff.
But you need the bad stuff to, remember the good. You need the growing.
It's like life.
Yeah.
You gotta suffer so you can have joy.
Yeah.
You got to get burned by the fire so you can enjoy life. No, I'm
you
just
can
with
enjoy
you, man.
another man's treasure.
That's right.
One of the funniest things I thought in the game was, you might have not seen this because this was in a collectible, but Rocket is talking to them about Grey Lung.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, it's totally fake.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I swear it's real. And then you find a collectible saying that this entire team of engineers died from Grey Lung.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just love that.
There's a ton of great, funny moments that just happen when you're walking around reading collectibles, talking to each other.
Oh, that's another thing. I thought there was too much music. Even though I know that's what the whole Guardians thing is about, like, thanks to the movies.
Yeah, I was like, is that a thing in the comics?
It might be. I never read
I have no
them.
idea.
But his cassette thing is always a thing, so it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's too many music pieces. I love the music playing in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
I love the music playing during your, like, huddle.
I like the huddle.
Huddles are cool. I never failed one, so
yeah, they're not hard.
I don't know. It's like
I almost wish they weren't failable.
Yeah, just make it a thing.
Just make him say a good thing.
It'd make the combat go by a lot faster because you have to wait for them to talk, and then you talk, and then Pierre's like, "Guys, come on, we gotta stick together."
Yep.
Yeah. But I feel like I like the music being a more diegetic thing rather than, here, we're going to shove another song in this cutscene for you.
Yeah.
But then, like, it awkwardly stops the music. Or actually, the one that was really awkward was in the very end when they're playing, what's that one song when you're fighting Adam Warlock and you're, like, getting the soul stone between everybody?
Oh, I don't know.
Playing, like, Hot Potato.
I don't remember. That's interesting.
It was a song, and, like, I had no lyrics. But then I look on YouTube and there's lyrics.
That's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Is it the same song for everybody?
The same song.
Huh.
Just odd. But I well, it's in one of my fast ones, so I'll save the rest of that conversation for later. But I think I'm ready for
I think I'm ready for fast ones too.
Fast ones are talking points.
Talking points.
Yeah.
Fast
ones, quick ones, medium ones, long ones.
All lengths of ones.
Yep.
Give them to me, baby. I know you have more talking
Let's talk
points
about
than I do.
Let's talk about the MCU versus the MGU.
Marvel Gaming Universe.
Because it's a thing now.
Is it?
Marvel's Spider-Man, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Is this connected to
I don't know if
Avengers
it's
and
connected,
Spider-Man?
but it's like part of their Marvel's gaming initiative.
Yes.
I gotta say, this game made the movies look like husks. It really ruined the movies.
I prefer this to the movies, personally.
Yeah.
And I will say, even though I get this is kind of blasphemy, and it might be
Say it.
the opposite of rose-colored glasses, but I definitely prefer this to Spider-Man.
The game?
This game, to the Spider-Man games.
You
know, you don't understand. I freaking love Spider-Man, okay? You do not understand. I love him.
I definitely prefer over Miles Morales.
Yeah, the Miles Morales game has gotten worse in my rear view window. Or my rear view mirror, as it were. But the whole window.
A window behind you that you can't see through.
There's just something about this game that really got me and really hit me in like the soft spot. You know what I mean? It pierced through the jaded exterior husk which I wear. And it just really spoke to me in a way. And this is the other thing. It's not freaking open world. No collectible crap. Okay, there's collectibles, but it's not the same. Okay, I didn't have to get 100 backpacks.
Sure, yeah.
And Spider-Man has
1,000 collectibles or something. It's crazy.
And I will just say, I just like this story more. Even though I really do love the Marvel Spider-Man story, this is probably my favorite one. I just really liked it. And we can't pretend that Marvel Spider-Man has good combat. It's okay. It's serviceable. You know what I mean? But it lacks depth, you know. At least this has some depth.
Every button in this game.
Me too.
I didn't use every tool or button in Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is full of useless things that you will never use. I used every single thing in my disposal in this game.
Yeah, this game is definitely more streamlined with the combat. Just a lot of fluff that you don't need in Spider-Man.
I just love it wasn't an open world.
Me too.
Please never make another open world game ever again.
Or live service.
Or live service.
But yeah, I mean,
well, what do you think about it?
About Guardians or Spider-Man?
I guess back to your original question.
Oh, the MGU versus the MCU?
I mean, the MGU has some great games if you think about it.
Yeah.
The Marvel and the Spider-Man games are still top tier.
Yeah.
You know, they're still great.
I just want to focus on Guardians itself. Because, like, everyone was thinking, like, I was thinking, how can you, like, I'm going to think Chris Pratt is Star-Lord. No.
This guy's Star-Lord.
This is Star-Lord.
Chris Pratt is an imitator now.
And, yeah, pretty much.
I love everyone in this game.
They are much better versions than what we see on the silver screen.
Do you think that's simply a time constraint?
I don't think so. I think that these characters are more believable looking.
Mm-hmm.
More, I don't know, endearing. I think they're better written. Drax is not a bumbling buffoon like he is in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
He has, like, I think Drax is by far the deepest character in this game, and he was by far my favorite character. He has a line that he says to Peter. It was my favorite line. I hope your mother found her way to heaven.
I know.
That's a great line.
That conversation where they're like looking out into the end of space together.
Yeah.
And they're talking about what they believe the afterlife is like and their lost families.
Yeah.
That scene alone, it is so good. I got the chills.
It's amazing. Oh, I'm getting the chills right now.
And I got the chills when you said that.
Yeah.
We're double chilling.
That's right.
Right now. Dude, I'm totally with you.
It's like, also, this, okay. Going back to my point on how this game makes the movies look lifeless and colorless.
Oh, yeah, you're so right.
Just look at the costumes from the movie. They are hideous. They are bland. They are drab. I mean, Drax's movie version looks like a pile of poo.
It definitely looks faded.
It looks disgusting. It looks awful. Like, everyone is wearing... So what you got in the game is Guardians of the Galaxies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the movie ones are, you know, they're the ones that you have at home. You know, they're the leftovers.
Yeah.
This is you going to Kohl's and getting your clothes.
The Kohl's versions.
You know?
Yeah.
But we got, like, I don't know.
Freaking Target.
Target over here.
We got Target brand Guardians.
It's just really sad, honestly. Like,
no, I'm with
it's
you.
just really sad. Like, Groot just turns naked for the movie one. Gamora is wearing just black lace vests.
Yeah.
Drax is wearing pants, and he looks like a Shrek swamp green. Disgusting mess.
I'll say a lot of the costumes in this game are legit. I really liked them.
Most of them are legit. There's a lot of filler, I think, with Star-Lord's costumes. They're all like the same.
Specifically, a lot of them are exactly the same.
And I didn't care for the 4 Horsemen or the 5 Horsemen one.
What did you like the last ones? The ones that Rocket ordered that were too expensive?
The gold ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are great.
Freaking dope.
They
look so cool.
Yeah.
I wore those for ever since I got them, and then into New Game Plus, I just kept wearing them.
Yeah. But I'm just, because I got to talk to you about costumes in a little bit. I just gotta say, this game makes the movies look so piss poor in, like, the style department. In the writing department,
Definitely
obviously.
the style department, yeah. And I just...
Because I could never relate to Drax in the movies. He was just a blunt idiot who his one gag was being too literal.
Mm-hmm.
But he never got deep or anything. I will say Mantis makes me uncomfortable in this game.
I say Mantis is, I think, going to be just a divisive character.
I think she's my least favorite character.
I like her, though. But I had to get past the way she talks. You know? Because she has a voice that I think will either make you want to kill yourself.
Oh, it wasn't the voice that bothered me.
But, like, the way she says things, and, like, the way she phrases things, and the way she does things. Like, her character, you know what I mean?
I think she's like a one-trick pony. She kept using the same, like, if someone says something, she'd be like, oh, I hope this is the good one.
Yeah.
Like, I hope this is the good path.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know that she could, like, see everything like Doctor Strange or whatever.
Yeah, she has, like, an eye into the universe or whatever.
But that one trick was really falling flat for me. Especially during parts where, like, I'm exploring for collectibles, and she's saying the same line over and over again. It's like, I can't get it. She got better near the end when she's, like, flying the ship. I thought that was pretty funny.
I think that she's funny when she's more specific, but you're right. Like, the filler lines, those are rough. But, like, there's some funny things she says about Rocket. Yeah.
Other than that, she was pretty cool. I like that she and Peter had, like, a history together. I thought that was kind of funny.
I love when she's talking about how they're married in one timeline.
Yeah,
and how they hate each other. It's just like, it's like really funny.
And I'm glad they didn't like focus on Peter having a romance.
I think, and that's what I was gonna say. I think that that's the biggest choice that the movie made differently, right? Mm-hmm. Where Peter's character development in this is about like parenting and leadership, because those are the same thing in reality, right?
Sure, yeah.
Is raising people and helping them be their best selves.
Helping them grow, yeah.
Like, that's Peter. That's what he's learning. He's learning not just how to be like a parent, but how to be a leader. He's accepting maturity, right?
Yeah.
That's the arc of Peter in this game. Whereas in the movies, he doesn't have an arc because he just wants to bang Gamora.
Yeah.
And
like, the first thing you see with Peter in the movies is him waking up from like a one-night stand.
Which, and Peter does that in this. You know what I mean?
Does he?
Yeah, they talk about it, like how his history is that he's kind of a carouser. You know?
Okay.
But there's just something about the way he's portrayed in the movies that he just never grows up.
He's like Michael Keaton in Batman Returns.
Yes, he is a socially stunted Batman. He just never really feels like he grows up in the movies. And that's frustrating.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
Yeah, because from what I remember in the movies, he would be like saying something kind of poignant to Gamora, and then he'd be like, "And you have a nice butt."
Yeah.
Like, it would always end with something like that, like, "Oh, you're so hot."
Which can be endearing, but is not when it's over and over and over and over and over.
When you're written by
a 12-year-old.
12-year-olds.
Yes.
But yeah. Going back to like what also you said, this game is just so colorful and amazing looking. It oozes style. The same goes for like the characters writing. But costumes. What were your costumes? Like, what were the ones that you stuck with? I had trouble with this for a little bit.
You're gonna hate me. I used...
Were you vanilla?
Some of the movie costumes. Because I honestly hate the way Drax looks in this.
Ugh, what?
The pink and green. Oh, he looks awful.
Are you colorblind?
I am colorblind, actually. But I hated the way Drax, his character design looks for this. Mm-hmm. I hate it. I think it looks
for
bad.
You, he looks like a watermelon Hubba Bubba.
That's right, and I liked that. So, I really liked his movie costume. I kept him in that for most of the game. Star-Lord switched, but I mostly liked his vanilla costume.
Uh-huh.
And then I switched to the gold ones.
Okay.
I like Gamora's normal costume.
Okay.
I like the white one. I think that's the best one for her. Groot, I actually liked him when he was like smaller.
Yeah.
In the movie version. Simply because I didn't like how huge he was otherwise. And then Rocket, it didn't matter because he's just a small raccoon no matter what.
That's so hurtful. Why would you say that about Raccoon?
I love him, but...
Why would you say that about Rocky?
He's just a little guy. A little rodent.
Okay.
But then the gold costumes. Once I had the white and gold ones, I ran those for everybody because I liked the way they looked.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So I think I am the antithesis of you.
I think so too. Halfway, like 50-50. I stuck with Star-Lord's vanilla the entire game.
It's great.
It's great, and all the other ones are like these weird, I don't know, pseudo Civil War uniforms.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
They're from the comics, but they're odd. And then there's like some ones that the IDOS made that they're whatever. I don't care.
I like the one where he's still wearing the same clothes from when he was 13.
Yeah,
but I wish they were like
take me out of the game.
Literally the same clothes.
Yeah,
so they were like short.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, sorry.
And then for Drax, I kept him normal until I got the one with the cape. You ever see that one?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's a great costume.
Because I missed like 3 costumes.
Okay. Yeah, there's a costume for Drax where he is like in a superhero outfit.
I like the one where he's a boxer. He has the shorts.
The UFC fighter one?
That one's pretty funny.
Yeah.
There are a lot of funny costumes, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of costumes which are jokes, and they look funny, so those are good. I feel like Gamora has the worst costumes.
I think so too. It's kind of like this.
Dang, that is legit.
It's awesome.
Oh, the funeral one.
Yes.
Yes. I like that one.
I love that one. And then for Rocket, I got him in his like, it looks like the Red Rocket Army in that's what it's called, right? Red Ribbon Army.
Yeah.
The Red Ribbon Army from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
it kind of looked like that. It was like this olive green military drab that looked really cool. And then Gamora, I kept her in the vanilla one for the longest time because it was the best looking one until I found one where she was like wearing a kind of like a leather like a leather jacket.
Okay.
Like a very 80s looking leather jacket.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was just very cool. It was very fitting for me, at least.
Yeah.
And then with Groot, I put him in the Nova Corps outfit for the longest time. I just wanted him to have clothes on.
You just don't like that he's naked.
It's just, well, because all the other ones look the same. They're just like, my branches are spikier.
His costumes are kind of lame. There's some that change almost nothing.
Yeah. And then, once I got the military uniform one, I used that one. I thought that one was pretty cool. But I wish they took more liberty with creating more.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because Guardians of the Galaxy is before the movies, was a pretty niche comic that not a lot of people read, and I don't think they did a whole lot with uniforms. I used one of the in-game Star-Lord ones. Yeah. The one with the black and like the checkered orange and red. I like that one a lot.
That one's good.
Where it's like zipped up. But you know, I only saw that for 2 seconds for the platinum.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish they just took a little more liberty.
I liked the costumes they created probably the most.
Yeah. Besides the ones that I used that were from comics. Yeah. Star-Lord and Gamora had the best original costumes. Because like if you switch from the Rocket one to the movie one, it's the same thing. It's just orange.
Exactly. There's like nothing different about it.
So yeah. I just want to talk about costumes with you, but
I thought they were surprisingly good.
They reminded me a lot. They were like the same quality for me as the ones in Miles Morales. There's a lot of filler. There's like one or two really good ones that you want to use. Yeah.
And I liked them, I think, more in this than the Spider-Man game.
Probably, yeah. I would have to agree. Like, his were...
There's a ton of bad costumes.
There's a ton of bad ones, actually. I think there's only one good one.
There's like 50 costumes and 3 are wearable. So
yeah. Quickly, let's rank the characters.
Like according to likableness?
Yeah, just which like ones you prefer.
Who do I like the most?
Yeah.
My favorite 2 would probably be Drax and Star-Lord.
Yeah.
I just really like Star-Lord's arc.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like him. And I think Drax has a great arc too. They're both the characters who feel like they've lost the most and feel like they've come the furthest.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I have to agree.
And Cammy the llama.
Cammy. I really like Adam Warlock and Nikki.
Adam Warlock is funny. And Nikki's great.
It'd probably be Drax, Star-Lord, Nikki, Adam.
I'm with you.
And then
Groot has a lot of character too. I like Groot.
Groot has some character, yeah.
Surprisingly, for saying
3 words.
3 words. He's pretty good.
But, I like Rocket. Gamora is probably the most bland one with the least amount of growth.
And she's okay still. Like, she's still not bad.
It was kind of annoying with her story arc. Where she's like,
it was okay.
I killed my sister.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you did.
Like, yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Is that like a big deal? Like, I don't know.
That's another thing. I wish I knew what had happened because, like, Thanos is dead. Is this, like, after the movies? like,
it's like a totally different universe.
What's the universe like before this game? Because, like, she killed her sister. Thanos is dead. They don't know who the Avengers are.
Yeah.
Or they kind of do. It's like
those losers in stupid costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was great.
Which I'm sure they're talking about the Crystal Dynamics one.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dummies in costumes. But I just wish I knew more without having to read a bunch.
Yeah.
I don't know if the collectibles say anything about.
They talk a lot about the Galactic
times
War.
past.
Drax says that he doesn't think Thanos is actually dead.
That's right. Yeah.
So, because Drax was supposed to be the one who killed him,
But he didn't.
he's like, I don't think I did it. I love the mystery it leaves you with, though. I think it's just really good. Like I said, I think the universe is really well.
It's ripe for a
fleshed
sequel.
out. Oh, do you want a sequel? That's the other question. Right?
Oh yeah, of course.
I would love a sequel.
I am so glad that they didn't follow the movies with like Baby Groot and certain characters that they use in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of I'm gonna have Nikki with her powers and Adam Warlock, who I'm pretty sure is an actual member of the Guardians of the Galaxy in comic books.
Is he really?
I'm pretty sure he's like, besides Peter, the main member. Like, he might be the leader.
What?
I've seen comic book
That's interesting.
covers with him being the front of it, like leading the charge with the Guardians.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I kind of like him.
I
I definitely feel like he's an outsider and like I want him to leave, but I think you're supposed to feel that way.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're Peter.
I like how he uses like a gratuitous amount of alliteration.
Yeah.
And then I love when he turns to
rhyming.
Magus, he starts rhyming.
That's good.
That was really funny. They did a good job. I mean, sometimes he says up to like 7 words in a row that are like alliterating. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited for a sequel that you'd have to think is going to happen no matter what.
The hopefully inevitable.
Yeah, hopefully.
How do you feel about Cosmo the dog?
Oh, he's great.
He's hilarious. I love Cosmo the
awesome.
dog.
Yeah, he's
His promise where he's just a dog.
chasing cars.
Chasing cars. Just wants to be a dog.
That's so funny.
It's cute. You know, you bring him back by reminding him of his pups. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's such a good
So
game.
good. Trying to think if there's anything else character-wise, but
This game is the opposite of Returnal.
what do you mean?
Like, has a nice, happy, satisfying story.
Oh,
Like, no loose ends, but the combat's poop.
well, it's just the
Yeah, it's a little
I
opposite.
understand. Which characters did you miss? Like, which characters do you wish were in the game, and which ones do you think you wish were out of the game?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
You're so good at making questions.
Or like, which ones didn't need to be there? You know, stuff like that.
I'm trying to think. Like, part of me is not so sure about Lady Hellbender.
Yeah.
But
Except for her and Drax's back and forth was
Exactly.
hilarious.
That's what I was gonna say. But they're hilarious together. One character that I feel like is gonna play a role in the sequel is Yondu,
Probably, yeah.
because I really like Yondu in the movies.
I will say he's probably the best character in the second movie.
He's great in the movies. I like that they totally changed it though for this for the game. It's like a totally different type of story with him. But Yondu's great, but he's not in this. But I don't really want him to be because I think that the way he was included was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really think of a lot of characters that are missing
Missing from the story.
or that I think should leave because they did a good job making almost every character that was in it feel necessary.
Important.
Because I like Mantis.
Uh-huh.
It's the only character I can think of that's a little bit more ancillary, but I thought she was great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know.
This game is pretty darn tight,
I
especially
was
in the
about to
story
say
and
that.
character department.
Because it goes back to the D&D thing where like characters you meet in the beginning, they come around and they have purpose at the end.
Exactly.
But I think Hellbender had to go.
She's
She
I
didn't
think
need to
she
be there
really
at the
works. But she
But she had to be.
exactly. And I like Carell. I think Carell and Peter are really, you know, it works. That story arc works. You know? And she obviously needs to be there because of Nikki.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I can't really think of characters I wish were there. Stan Lee.
Where's Stan Lee?
Bring him back from the dead. It would be interesting, like, because they don't have to follow any sort of formula from the movies. They don't have to follow any sort of continuity.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been kind of cool to, like, maybe see, I don't know, like a member from the Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just like randomly, like, because no other game's going to do it.
That's true. No other movie's going to do it either at this point.
Put what's the guy's name for Captain America? Chris
Evans?
Yeah, just put Chris Evans' torch.
I was literally going to say the same thing.
But I think that would be kind of cool if, like, you just see the Human Torch, like, on some planet in a bar. Yeah. It'd be kind of funny. You know, it's like, oh, there's the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Or, like, they're not even in their costumes, but you see, like, the Thing and you see them. And it'd be kind of funny.
I agree.
But that's it. I definitely don't want the Avengers in it.
I think if they are in it, I want the Guardians to kill them. I want to kill Iron Man.
A blood battle.
I want to, like, see some version of the Avengers which turn evil from the Crystal Dynamics game.
Yeah.
And then I want the Guardians to kill them.
Yeah.
That would be satisfying.
I think so too. Or, like, even like an X-Men member. Like, let's say Wolverine was shot into space. You know?
Just crashes into their ship.
Yeah. Who knows?
I agree. And
just some sort of cameo from, like, a property that's not, like, overdone and has beaten us over the head over the last 10 years.
Yes. No, I'm with you.
Like Fantastic Four.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait for the sequel because I'm sure that'll be there.
I'm sure.
What a great experience this game was.
Which Guardian would you fist fight?
Would I fist fight?
Yeah.
You know, part of me wants to say Rocket because he's small, but he would definitely kill me.
Oh, for sure.
And I can't. I mean, I've punched a tree. It hurts. I'm not going to fight Groot. Gamora is an assassin. You got to fight Peter.
Because he's the most evenly matched.
He's just a guy with blasters.
I think I would fight Rocket still.
You'd fight Rocket? He would bite you so hard. He probably has rabies. He's never brushed his teeth. At least Peter tries. The toothbrush bit is good too.
Yeah. Compared to, I mean, I could fight Nikki.
Although it doesn't she have like
before she
soul powers
before she has the soul stone powers.
I'd fight the llama.
Oh yeah.
Is she a member?
Dude.
I'd fight her.
Take that llama by the neck and swing it around like a bat.
Oh my gosh.
I could do that, but like probably Rocket. I feel like I could get my hands around his neck.
I'd get his tail. Swing him into something.
He doesn't he has pretty small hands.
That's true.
I can't see him like really doing a lot of damage.
But he's got little nails.
Yeah, little nails.
But they're claws.
Keyword.
Have you been scratched by an animal?
He has little teeth too.
That's true. But he also has like guns in his pants.
As soon as he'll just shoot. Fight. It's a fist fight.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a good idea then.
Because have you ever thought about like being bit by a big dog?
Yeah.
Like what you would do?
No.
Oh,
I would just faint and die.
Well, because like dogs usually bite you and they latch on, kind of.
Like in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. But like, I feel like if I would sacrifice my arm, make Rocket bite me, and then push in. Forget the pain. Push him to the ground. And I have this hand to do whatever I want.
Anything you want.
Jab him.
God. Wow, I like that.
Just forget about the pain.
Just forget about it.
And end him.
End him.
End him.
How would you end him?
It's too graphic for the podcast.
That's for Futon Talks after midnight. No.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
I think I couldn't kill Peter. He's tall. I'd kill Rocket too.
Peter is tall.
He's too tall.
He's like my height, but
hey, everyone's tall.
He could technically make his mask go over his face, and you couldn't punch him in the face.
That's true. And I've seen him shirtless. He works out. I'm a doughy man.
Yeah, he is definitely he's working out a little bit.
I think you've got to be right, and I would go for the tail. I would swing him around.
Tail. What if he's really not a raccoon like he says, but he just wears a tail?
Oh, so he's like a juggalo? Or whatever.
A furry?
No. What are because the kids who are like part of the insane clown posse or whatever?
Do they wear tails?
Dude, they do everything.
I mean, I know they do crazy stuff like tattoo their faces with the makeup, but
I've seen them with tails.
Wow. Okay, yeah,
There's
maybe he is a...
It's a prominent
juggalo.
intersection of human beings who are both insane clown posse members and wear raccoon tails to school with ears.
It's funny how so fast a word can change with one letter.
Right?
Juggalo to gigolo.
Hello. You wouldn't want a gigolo that's juggalo.
No.
I'll tell you that.
No.
No.
But yeah, what if the tail is fake and he's just a juggalo?
Then I'm done.
Yeah.
I think he would surpass me. He would kill me. He would feast on my flesh.
Like, I never see him climb, so I wonder how good his climbing skills are.
I see him climb on Groot.
That is
Can
true.
you imagine what he could do to us? Crawl between our legs around our torso. He bites our neck.
But we're not big as Groot, so maybe he can't do that.
How big is he? He's like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah, he's like a...
He's got thumbs, dude. He's got thumbs.
He's got little thumbs. You imagine how fast I can snap his arm?
I feel like if you're brutal and
Like,
you're not afraid,
I feel like if I grabbed his arm, it would be his hands here and then his body's here.
you could break him.
Good.
If you just take him a leg and an arm and boom, right over the knee. Huh.
I think Peta's listening to us right now.
Dude, there was something I was thinking about with PETA the other day. I gotta remember this.
Pita chips?
No. Those are good, though. Like Stacy's pita chips, the
Yeah.
originals.
Oh,
Freaking fantastic. Eat them
yeah.
all day. What was I thinking about? There was some restaurant where they were talking about doing something. I was like, how does PETA, like, sit by and allow this? Oh, I can't remember.
Well, if you remember, let us know.
I will.
I have a few more talking points. I guess we kind of already talked about what we would change. Oh, what songs do you wish were in the game? I was missing some MJ.
Some MJ. That
Yeah.
makes sense, too. I don't know. I
Or
really like
Tears
the
for
selection.
Fears. Where's Tears for Fears?
That's true.
Hall & Oates, where are you at?
Hall & Oates. I'm watching you. Watching your every move.
Can you imagine, like, doing a huddle and then...
I thought Private Eyes was in this. Was Private Eyes in this game?
Maybe, but, like...
That's my favorite Hall & Oates song.
Where's Maneater? That would be a great song to do a huddle with.
I agree.
You know?
I thought the selection of songs was good. But
And
I think you
Rick
can't
Astley,
please
so you can't go
everybody.
wrong. Sorry?
I think you can't please everybody. Everyone's got different favorite 80s songs. They had a good selection. But I understand.
But you can add more.
That's true. We can
I'm
spend a
not saying
couple
take
more
away
million.
any songs. I'm just saying add more songs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I'm sure it's like Michael Jackson songs are really expensive,
Yeah.
you know? But it would be awesome to have like...
I want a Prince
Beat It.
song. I want Party Man.
I'd probably kill myself and listen to Party Man ever
I
again.
kind of love Party Man now.
Party Man.
Don't get us demonetized, Chris.
Yeah. Yeah, I was missing more Hall & Oates, Tears for Fears, Michael Jackson, like, or even like Van Halen.
Mm.
I think that would have been kind of cool.
I did like the original music, though.
Like the...
From Star-Lord, the band.
Oh, yeah, it
was like pretty good.
Yeah, it was fun.
I liked it. I understand, though. I feel you.
It's not a huge complaint.
There was never a moment where I was like, oh, I wish this song was in it. But only because I liked all the songs they showed me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I should have spent more time in the ship where you can like choose the song.
Yeah.
Because I would have just looked at all the songs, but I didn't. I just immediately saw Rick Astley, so I played it.
It's good.
Let's talk the trophies a little bit. Just a little bit.
I don't care about them.
What trophies do you wish were in it? I wish there was more choice based.
Me too. Because your choices really don't matter in this game.
Yeah, they don't.
And I wish that there were trophies for like playing the games in when you're alone in the market in nowhere. Like playing the chance game.
Yeah.
Like I wish there was a trophy for getting, for the guy, for the brain thing lying to you about like the cup switching game.
Yeah. Or just add trophies to certain collectibles that you find. Because there's some that are like, you have to do things for, like getting Gamora the doll.
Yeah.
Like that would have been kind of cool.
I agree. Like more specific stuff.
Yeah.
Or like going into the museum for the collector. I think that should be a trophy. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. That would be kind of cool.
Or like have a heart-to-heart with Drax when you do the thing with Drax. I agree. Just more specific stuff.
Take the combat ones out.
I thought the combat ones were bad because I tried like several times to get Drax to do the thing.
Oh, with the Inquisitor?
Yeah, just wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I didn't get that till the end of the game.
Yeah, you just have to rely on it giving it to you. And it just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, I agree. There would have been cool things for like, because like you can get Marvelous, 10 times or whatever. But what, like, I don't know, maybe if there was like a combo counter also, that would have been kind of cool. Because like Spider-Man has like 100 times combo.
Which is a good trophy.
That is a good trophy. That would have been kind of cool in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Or maybe doing some sort of like linking different combos or linking different moves in a certain order to do this like cool thing.
I think it just requires the combat to be stylish and turn-based, which is what we wanted, but that's okay.
That's fine. Well, let me see if I have any more. Everything else I have is stuff that we already talked about through the show, but how does a publisher put out the Avengers and this game? And then how does a company like Eidos Montreal make Shadow of the Tomb Raider and then make this game?
Dude,
they're two different questions, of course.
I think it all, because I was listening to a news thing and read a part of like an earnings call or whatever between Square Enix and their stockholders, right? Mm-hmm. And the guy in charge of Square Enix said about Avengers that he put the wrong team on the wrong job. Yeah. And some people got mad about that. They thought he was saying that he was disparaging the team, Crystal Dynamics. Yeah. But I don't think he was. I think he's just saying that they need to be better about aligning the right studio with the right project. Yeah. And that happened with this game.
It's like asking Treyarch to make a turn-based JRPG.
Exactly.
It's like, that's not what they do.
Like, Crystal Dynamics wasn't made, or they don't have the abilities or the specific moveset to make a live service game, a live service multiplayer game now. And I heard the story was pretty good. And it's similar with this, where this game has a fantastic story. Great, great voice acting, great pacing. But the combat's not really there. But that's okay. I just think it had to do with choosing the right team for the right job, and they just did a good job of it this time.
Yeah.
Just like when you choose to be a patron to Futon Talks, you're doing the right thing because we have the best podcast.
That's right.
That's right.
Give me your fast ones.
Oh, I will. Would you rather have everyone yell at you whenever they talk for the rest of your life, or would you rather become a sentient raccoon?
Sentient raccoon?
Right? I would die. The constant yelling drove me insane. That was the only thing I didn't like about this game. Mm-hmm. Everything else I liked.
It was constant. They would never shut up.
Especially the moment when they see the thing siphoning energy out of Contraxia. They scream. Like every line. Yeah. And it's like, I think everything around them is supposed to be louder, but they didn't make it louder. So it's like kind of quiet in that room.
Maybe you got some audio issues too.
Maybe I did, because it sounds like they're just screaming at each other in like a mostly silent room.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. It was like, what is happening, dude? They're just yelling. So that one stuck out to me. But would you rather... I was going to say, would you rather live with Drax or Rocket? But just Drax. Which Guardian would you like to live with? Because Groot's place would be kind of dirty, I think.
Like in the ship, which room would I want to be in?
Yeah, but they're living there too.
I think it'd be fun to bunk with Peter.
I kind of agree. But I feel like it would be so dirty. But I'm dirty.
Yeah, you are.
Better than Rocket. I mean, you would never want to live with Rocket.
Covered in grease and gunk, and
I feel like
you sleep on metal.
Yeah, like a little bunk.
Sleep on like a pile of scrap.
Bad move. Don't live with him.
What was Drax's room even like?
I don't know, but I feel like Drax would want to talk all night.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure he doesn't sleep.
He doesn't. He would just train, or he'd roll over in bed and start talking to you about stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think you have to bunk with Peter and then change him, or come to some sort of middle ground, like Daryl and Jim in The Office.
There you go.
where you might be a neat freak, but he's throwing cans on the ground. You gotta just accept it. Pick your battles.
Pick your battles, right.
with Peter. Maybe don't let him talk to himself in the mirror, but
yeah,
allow him to sleep with a llama too. Yeah. Let a llama be in the mix. You're sleeping with a llama and another man.
Is that not my dream? Wow.
It would definitely be feet to face.
Yeah.
Because, unless you build a bunk.
Which wouldn't work.
Yeah. Well, it could, but you don't want it to work.
No, that's a good answer, my friend. That was a well thought out answer.
I'll just sleep on Cammy, the llama.
Is the best thing to do.
I love the end credit scene where they sell Cammy's fur for a huge amount of money.
They make tons of money. They become rich off of Cammy's fur. It's amazing. Yeah. Did you hide her or sell her out?
Oh, I hit her.
I have no idea what happens. I'm sure nothing happens because this game is an illusion.
Oh, that's another thing. Did you sell Rocket or Groot?
Sold Rocket. He sucks.
I'm
not going to sell Groot.
But then it sucked because you couldn't sell him, but she accepts Groot.
Does she really?
Yeah, apparently.
So does a totally different thing happen?
I'm sure it doesn't. I'm sure Rocket says something stupid and then it goes into combat.
I'm sure the same thing happens because Rocket refuses to let them sell Groot.
Mm-hmm. I would have really liked to have the opportunity to actually sell Rocket. That would have been kind of funny.
I liked the idea that we were going to have to break him out of prison.
Yeah.
I thought that seemed really fun, and then they didn't do it, and I thought that was a bad choice.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that you're making choices, but I don't want to deviate from the story because I think the story's good.
Yeah.
So I wish, and that leads me into another fast one, the illusion of choice or the reality of awful consequences.
Reality.
Illusion of choice.
Okay.
Pave my way for me. I think that the story...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because in reality...
have the game make the story for you, or you make the story?
Yeah.
I'd rather have the game show me and tell me what it wants.
Exactly. Because if you could actually make these choices... there's no way they could make a game that compensates for all of your choices. It's just impossible.
Yeah, it would have to be like an Until Dawn type of deal where you have a bunch of different outcomes, but it's a much shorter experience and a much linear experience.
And even then, Until Dawn doesn't actually change.
It really doesn't.
You just end with different people. You know what I mean? So
spoiler alert for Until Dawn.
If you haven't played Until Dawn. But, so, I almost wish it didn't have me make choices and just let me make dialogue choices, which don't actually affect anything. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Fing Fang Foom or Ring Fang Lame?
Lame.
Yeah, he's kind of lame. People are really excited for that, apparently. Apparently that's the thing in the comics.
Oh, okay. It's like a lame version of the thing from Kenna.
Yeah. I'm with you. A lot of these we've answered. Yeah, we did all of these.
Oh, sweet.
Darn you, Chris. You're just too good.
That's right.
You're freaking psychic, brother. It was like, this are the movies. Which Guardian do you love favorite? All that jazz. Well, that was fabulous.
That was a good episode.
That was fun. It was amazing.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys.
Do you want to close this out or you want me to close this out?
You go close this out. I want to hear what you have to say.
Goodbye. No. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you to our supporters, Cody, John, and Emmett, over on patreon.com/Futon Talks, where you, if you feel so generous, could support us $1, $2, $5, $10 more.
Oh.
And if you do that, we'll be closer to actually doing cooler things, like actual merches. And we'll start doing stuff like community posts and start allowing you guys to kind of direct us to where you want us to go for certain episodes.
That's right.
But obviously, thank you to all of our listeners and supporters over on YouTube and Podbean, Spotify, wherever you listen to us, wherever you watch us. Thank you for your comments. We love them. Please keep them coming. And please like, follow, subscribe, share with your friends. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Adios.
Adios. amigos.